Hi guys, so this lecture is the taxonomy of social media. But before we dive into the lecture, I've got a philosophical question for you. If a tree falls in a forest and there's no one around to tweet, share, snap, check into it, pin it, tag it, hashtag it, did it really happen? Does it really make a sound? Did the tree really fall? For most of us, our reality is what we see on our social media. And so if it's not on our social media, it has not happened to us in our lives. It's not on our periphery. It's not in our line of sight. So for us, or for you, or for me specifically, this tree may have actually fallen in the forest. So just look at it from a philosophical perspective about observation and our knowledge of reality. With that, we're going to move into the taxonomy of social media. We've got the taxonomy of social media, which are 5 different levels of engagement. We go from curiosity all the way to full integration. So as you read about these different levels of engagement with social media, I want you to really think about which level you're on. And what I don't mean necessarily which level you are on as a whole. Maybe what level do you feel like you are on some specific applications versus others. So we could be fully engaged and in full integration on a specific app and then be at the curiosity level for another app. We can begin to start looking at businesses and where they are in the taxonomy. So I'm going to just try and make this short enough for it's enjoyable for you to watch, but I also want to put some thought-provoking questions in there so you can really start thinking about this. So level 1. Level 1 is what we call the curiosity level. This is the entry level for social media. Like something or someone's created an interest for you. It's great enough for you to want to look and explore. Sort of a gateway to all the next steps in engaging in social media. So maybe somebody's talking to you about it. You keep hearing about how a friend getting discounts, or somebody's getting recipes from Pinterest, or they've read some really fabulous article on Twitter. So you're like, wow, you know what? Maybe there is something to the social media. I'm interested. I want to start looking in and exploring. So maybe I can get information the same way they are. This may even be for businesses. They may have a competitor who's beginning to use a specific social media or a platform, and they're noticing that they're beginning to increase their sales. Specific businesses as a whole, maybe you're a startup and let's say you sell t-shirts and you are looking to figure out which specific platform should you use to sell your t-shirts, or you got one of those food pre-cooked meal businesses, can't remember the name at the top of my head, but you're trying to figure out what platform should I use. This person's doing that. Maybe I can too. Let me look into it and see if it might work for me. You've got level 2, which is what we call the lurking phase. You've maybe downloaded the apps and you're looking for knowledge to identify content and begin the early stages. So sort of what we were talking about in the last slide, but a little bit further. Maybe you are beginning to look through what's online. You're just kind of looking at other people's images, posts, how are they doing it, sort of like you're researching it a little. You're curious. You are beginning to understand how things work, what the lingo is, tweeting, liking, posting, pinning, hashtags. You're starting to understand, what does that mean? What is the importance of it for this specific app versus that app? Why is it relevant? Why does that matter? So maybe you're just kind of looking through the news feeds. Maybe on Instagram, you're interested in how does a boomerang work? How do people do that? What are these stories? So you're beginning to kind of just get an understanding of how each of the specific applications work. This could be personally, and this could be professionally from a business standpoint. This could be professionally from your own personal standpoint professionally. Maybe with LinkedIn, you're wondering how are other people getting their jobs? How are you creating your LinkedIn page? Maybe if I want to look for the specific industry, how would I do that? How do I connect with people? And so forth. Then we've got level 3, which is the understanding phase. You're beginning to participate and consume more information. The flow of information is in one direction. So it allows for an opportunity to identify credible material, resources, and individuals. Again, this is sort of kind of like an overflow from the lurking phase. You're starting to really want to, you know what, I want to understand how this specific application really works. I want to dive in. I really like what this person does. I want to follow them, see what they're doing, really understand how they're connecting to people. How is this organization connecting? How often are they posting? What are they doing to connect? And how are they engaging people? You're really beginning to dive in a little bit more. Maybe you are now posting a little bit, liking things here and there, not really a lot. People want to see how I'm doing. I'm going to let people know how I'm doing. Here's a post about what we did over the weekend, or I'm going to, I like your image, I'm going to like your picture. I really like that tweet, I'm going to retweet it. Maybe once in a while, but you're really beginning to understand maybe who these specific contributors are to. Who are these people who are really contributing a lot? And let me follow those people now. Let me start understanding that I want to hear what they have to say. So you might be following people more than people are following you. You're not putting as much information out there, but you're beginning to really consume and understand that information a lot more by following other people on the platforms, organizations, individuals, businesses, competitors, and whatnot. And this is a really critical point in the taxonomy, because when you start really understanding things, that's when you're like, okay, wow, I really want to do this. So it's sort of like thinking about the bicycle. You're learning how to ride the bike. I'm curious. You're watching people ride the bike around. As a little kid, then you start looking at the bicycle and you want to really understand how this works. Maybe you want to get on the bicycle and you're trying, and then eventually you're like, oh my goodness, I get this. I understand how this bicycle works. And you start wanting to really begin to engage a lot more. So you've got how that bicycle works, and as you start getting older, then you're like, you know what, I get this bicycle. Let me show how somebody who's a little younger than me, how this works, so they can start understanding. So that's where that contributing phase starts coming in. You begin to gain a really solid understanding of the platform, the tools, the ability to identify credible material, resources, individuals. You're finding things now that you're beginning to contribute. So you're creating your own language. You're writing your own text now, your own information out there. You're finding articles online that you're tweeting on your own. You're responding to different people. You're beginning to become one of those really larger contributors. And this could be in any realm. You could be in a religious realm, political realm. This could be food and nutrition. This could be that health area. This could be in education. Maybe it's your food creation of different exercises. This could be in the healthcare field. I mean, whatever it is that you may have a real strong understanding of, you're now beginning to contribute that information, and you're giving your own type of material now. You're creating your own. Even on LinkedIn, you might be now contributing to LinkedIn articles that pop in the LinkedIn feed. You might be creating a lot more Instagram stories now. You might be going live on Facebook. So you're just a lot more engaged than before, and it's more of like your own material. And why would anybody be interested in following you? What is it about you that is interesting enough to hear what you have to say? So again, it could be the fact that you're some special background, religious background, or you have a background in specific texts and understanding of that. Politics, maybe you take one specific side versus the other. Maybe you're neutral. Maybe you're just really well versed in understanding of what's going on. You can make it easy for people to understand. Fitness and exercises, maybe it was your journey that took you someplace, and now you want people to really start to understand that they can get there too. And you're doing a lot of motivational things. It could be food. It could be maybe your great recipes. It could be parenting. It could be healthcare. So whatever it is that you see that you've got sort of like a niche that needs to be filled, or that you have that somebody else may not have, people are going to begin to be really interested in what you have to say. Maybe it's the way that you say it. So it could be anything. We got to level 5 here, the integrating phase. So that contributing, you're contributing your own stuff, and now in integrating, you're really developing your own content. You've come to the point where you're able to contribute, you're finding things, you're posting it, putting it online, connecting things to links and blogs and stuff you found. And here you're really diving in. So again, you see that there's an overlap between all of these levels. It's not like very specific level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They kind of slowly flow into each other. So an organic, authentic process. Over time, you learn something and then you become more interested in it, and then you spend more time trying to understand it. Then you really begin to dive into that, and now you're creating your own stuff. Like, you feel that maybe you're that foremost thought in that specific arena. You've got a lot to say about that, and people really want to hear what you have to say. So sort of the stuff I talked about in the contributing phase now are really there in integrating phase. And maybe people are waiting for what you have to post or you have to say on a daily or weekly or whatever it is. And you have a specific time of the day you might do that, monthly, weekly, so forth. So all of these levels have what we call engagement at the core of them. Your level of engagement. How engaged are you? Are you really into this? Is this something that you're super interested in? So I want you to really think about your personal life beyond social media. What is it that you find yourself like researching, looking at when you are not having to do that? So, for example, I give, let's say that you really like cars. You find yourself researching, looking at cars all the time, or maybe, and so you know everything there is to know about cars, what's coming out, what the newest stuff is, what's happening. Maybe it's technology. Maybe you've got a specific platform that you really follow a lot about technology. It could be anything. So think about that and like how deeply engaged you are in that specific arena or field. And now try and connect that to how you can be deeply engaged in social media as well. So no matter what level you're at, you are engaging. This means absorption of material and eventual contribution and distribution of the material. By engaging in social media, you move through all the 4 stages of social media taxonomy. And without any engagement, meaning without liking, posting, retweeting, original material, it's just static, right? If I'm not communicating something and somebody's not communicating back, it's just there. Nothing's happening. So that deeper the level of engagement, the less static social media is. And social media is not static at all because people are always on there, right? Engaging with each other. We're actively participating. We're committing to grow and learn. We have a real lively interest in it. So I want you to really think about what your taxonomy level is. We're missing one here. We got to add integrating. Curiosity, lurking, understanding, contributing, integrating. And you could be at one level in one place and one level at another. So I might be at like a curiosity level with Snapchat or lurking level, but I'm totally integrated with Facebook or LinkedIn because I really know how to use those and I use them a lot and I'm posting a lot. So you don't necessarily have to be integrated and highly engaged in every single one of these platforms in order to be considering yourself as an level 5 integrated social media taxonomy level. You could be at one level for one level for another. You could be sort of an understanding for all of them. You could look at it from personal perspective, professional perspective, a business perspective. So maybe you are super integrated personally, but now you're starting your small business and now you're just back to the curiosity lurking phase, trying to figure out what is best for your business. What are those others who are in comparative organizations doing? So the taxonomy level can be ever changing, constantly evolving, especially when we have new social media come out, the reasons for using your social media change, and on. So I hope this was informative. There is reading there this week as well for you to learn. So thank you.